Well, I'd like to talk this morning about some of our weed control techniques that we're using, and also recycling some of our organic material on our farm. So I'm standing right now in a patch of mulberries and blueberries. Blueberry plants in a row here, which are a number of years old, and on a dry hillside, and and mulberries on this side and this side here. Now, the interesting thing, and what I wanted to really illustrate here, is that from this point on, this patch of blueberries and mulberries alternating in rows is the mulberries here, which were planted here 2 years ago, are the same age as the mulberries here. Exact same age, exact same treatment in terms of uh, of everything except for weed control. So this this row here was just mulched this week with cardboard right on top of the grass. So before I did this, the sod was like it is in this row, solid mat of grass with a landscape fabric, a geotextile landscape fabric right here. That's a 3-foot wide strip down the row of mulberries in this case and blueberries in this case, to control weeds within the row itself. And so traditionally we would mow between these rows. We would mow the grass to keep blackberries and trees from growing within the rows here. And so what we decided on over here, last year I used cardboard and organic matter on top of the cardboard to eliminate the sod entirely. And that is the difference between this row here. Now you can see this particular Pakistan mulberry has grown about 6 feet this summer. And here the Pakistan mulberries have only grown in this particular bush. Well, it looks like I may have pruned it, but I only see about 6 inches to a foot of growth here, 2 feet of growth on this plant, about two feet of growth on this plant. So that's the difference between eliminating the sod competition between the rows or having sod competition between the rows here until this week when I just mulched this with cardboard and, in this case, kiwi vine clippings on top of the cardboard. In this case, we used sawdust and wood chips on top of the cardboard as a way of suppressing the weed and grass competition. So we went several months without significant rainfall here. It is now October. In the month of August and September, we had about a quarter of an inch of rain for the 2 months until the last week or so of September, when we got about an inch and a half. And so so basically this area was grown without irrigation, without any irrigation. This area did get soaker hose irrigation about once a week. And so it's a pretty dramatic difference. They didn't need the irrigation, obviously, because of the tremendous growth that they put on. And look how much greener the leaves are also compared to the row where they're growing amongst the sod. So in order to do this, we're just taking any kind of strips of cardboard. We're tearing off any plastic on it, and if it's a box, we just tear it open and lay it down between the rows, and where it meets a blueberry plant, I can just tear the cardboard, put it down like this. Now sometimes I'll get weed infiltration in the sections here where grass and weeds can poke up through. So this is where I'll take a piece of newspaper and just kind of tuck it in between there in these slits in the cardboard, so that grasses and such won't infiltrate through. And so once we've, that's already got cardboard underneath it. Once we've got it like this, then I can just take the leaves and cover it all. Cover everything over. And then the leaves will break down, give us nice looking, and the cardboard won't blow away in the wind this way because it's all covered with some kind of organic matter. The cardboard or newspaper is important because it creates a barrier that the weeds are not able to easily penetrate. Whereas if you just put sawdust or the leaves or chippings directly onto weeds, the weeds will push up through it more readily. But with the layer of cardboard, that basically stops that infiltration of weeds for the most part. And as long as all the weeds are covered, then we can just dump the organic matter on top of them, and we can renew this annually as necessary to make sure that it's maintained, and so it's also a good way of recycling cardboard and newspapers, leaves, wood chips, or whatever kind of organic matter you might readily have available to you. It's just going to break down and increase the organic matter content of your soil and the moisture holding capacity of your soil as it breaks down. And a year from now, this will be just like earth, unless you renew it with more organic matter and another layer of cardboard to if weeds start growing in that area again. If you want to clear a little spot to plant something like pumpkin seeds to help spread over the mulch material, it's a good way of utilizing that space. But here we just laid cardboard down, and I just poked holes in the cardboard or at the seam of the cardboard to plant my pumpkin seeds or transplant my starts, and then I let the pumpkin vines just cover the cardboard. And this was a very aggressively weedy area before I laid the cardboard down. And I just laid it right down on the weeds and let the pumpkins cover everything. And then this will be a nice weed-free area for gardening next spring, thanks to the cardboard layer.